He was supposed to be Chelsea's next superstar, the $100 million signing who would bring back the glory days to Stamford Bridge. A player so fast, so electric, they called him the Ukrainian Mbappe. But the dream didn't last long. Within months, the magic was gone, the confidence faded, and Mudryk went from Europe's hottest prospect to a name nobody talks about anymore. So what happened to Mykhailo Mudryk? How did a player once destined for greatness become one of football's biggest disappointments?
Before the noise, before the pressure, before the £100 million headlines, there was just a kid from Krasnoyarsk, a small town in Ukraine. A boy who used to run on muddy fields in freezing weather, dribbling with a worn-out ball, dreaming of something bigger. Football wasn't just a sport for Mykhailo Mudryk, it was an escape from chaos, from war, from uncertainty. And from the very beginning, everyone could see it. His speed, his confidence, his raw hunger. He wasn't just another academy player, he was different. At Shakhtar Donetsk, that difference became impossible to ignore. Every match, every sprint, every touch, he looked like lightning. He wasn't the biggest or the strongest, but defenders feared him because he played without hesitation. He didn't care who was in front of him. He just ran, dribbled, created chaos. By 2022, Mudryk was more than a rising star. He was the pride of a country torn apart by war. He became a symbol of hope, Ukraine's golden boy, the one who was going to make it to the very top. Then came Europe's attention. Arsenal wanted him. Chelsea wanted him. Every club in England talked about him. His name filled transfer shows, social media, and headlines across the world. It was a transfer saga that defined a new era of football. A player with just 50 senior matches being valued at €100 million. Arsenal fans believed he was theirs. He followed their players on Instagram. He posted cryptic stories with emojis in red and white. Everything pointed to North London. But then, in one weekend, everything changed. Chelsea stepped in, a desperate, chaotic club under new ownership, throwing money to rebuild their identity. They outbid Arsenal, offered double the salary, and suddenly Mudryk was in blue. January 2023, Stamford Bridge was electric. Fans cheered his arrival like the second coming of Eden Hazard. A £100 million investment, a 7-year contract, a new era. The cameras followed his every move. The pressure was massive, the hype uncontrollable. He hadn't even played a full Premier League match yet, and already he was being called the Ukrainian Mbappe. And for a moment, it looked real. His debut against Liverpool was dazzling. He came off the bench and made defenders look slow, effortlessly gliding past them with pure confidence. Everyone thought Chelsea found their star. But the thing about football is, sometimes the brightest lights burn out the fastest. And what looked like the beginning of a legend was actually the start of a collapse no one saw coming. At first, it looked like the perfect beginning. Mudryk's debut against Liverpool had everyone talking. His first few touches were electric, his speed unreal. The kind of debut that makes fans believe they're witnessing something special. But after that night, everything changed. The goals didn't come, the rhythm vanished, and the same fans who once screamed his name started to question if he was ready for England at all. Chelsea were falling apart. Too many signings, no chemistry, no direction. Managers came and went, each one promising to unlock Mudryk, and each one failing to even understand him. He went from starting to the bench, from the bench to forgotten. In training, his confidence faded. He wasn't smiling anymore. He looked like someone lost a kid trapped inside a project that never had a plan. The Premier League was different. Defenders were faster, stronger, smarter. Every mistake went viral. Every missed chance became a meme. The same media that built him up were now tearing him down. Overrated, finished, another Chelsea flop. And week after week, the pressure grew heavier. Every time he touched the ball, you could almost feel the tension through the screen, the hesitation, the fear of making another mistake. By the end of his first season, Mudryk had one goal. One. For a $100 million signing, that wasn't just bad, it was humiliating. But the problem wasn't only Mudryk, it was Chelsea, a club trying to rebuild overnight, stacking talent without identity, spending money without vision. And Mudryk became the perfect face for that chaos, the symbol of a broken project. By the start of his second season, everything that once made Mykhailo Mudryk special was gone. The spark, the confidence, the joy vanished. The same fans who once called him the future were now calling him a waste of money. The Premier League isn't kind to players who need time, and Mudryk didn't have any left. Chelsea's chaos had turned into desperation, and the pressure on him grew heavier every week. Every time he stepped onto the pitch, you could feel the tension, as if the entire stadium was waiting for him to fail. Every misplaced pass got louder boos. Every missed chance turned into another headline. He wasn't just fighting defenders anymore. He was fighting expectations, pressure, and himself. Inside the club, things weren't better. Coaches tried to fix him. Some told him to bulk up. Others said to slow down. And a few even benched him for his own good. It wasn't guidance. It was confusion. And when you're lost as a player, that confusion becomes poison. Teammates noticed. He stopped smiling. He stopped joking around in training. He trained longer than everyone else, but his efforts started to look like desperation, as if he was running away from something invisible. Behind closed doors, the staff whispered. They said he didn't look the same, mentally, physically, emotionally. And then, the rumors began. Whispers spread through social media. Claims that a routine doping test had revealed something suspicious. No official confirmation, no evidence. But the story exploded. Headlines everywhere. Mudryk under investigation. It didn't matter that nothing was proven. The damage was done. The public doesn't wait for truth. They choose a side, and Mudryk lost that battle instantly. The memes returned, the hate comments flooded in, and for the first time, people weren't mocking his football, they were questioning his character. Chelsea stayed silent. No statements, no defense. The club had moved on. For a $100 million signing, that silence said everything. He was slowly erased from the team sheet. Not injured, not suspended, just invisible. Games passed, and his name wasn't even on the bench. Nobody asked anymore. Reporters stopped mentioning him. The hype that once made him the face of Chelsea's new era was replaced by total indifference. And that's the worst part of falling in football, when people stop caring. For Mudryk, the spotlight had turned into darkness. He went from being Ukraine's symbol of hope to a player nobody wanted to talk about. From viral clips of his speed and dribbles, to silence, empty stadium shots, forgotten interviews, and a name that meant disappointment. Behind the cameras, he tried to hold on. Private sessions, mental training, even therapy. Anything to find the player he once was. But when your confidence is gone, no coach, no doctor, no friend can bring it back. And as the season dragged on, so did the questions. What happened to Mudryk? Was it the pressure, the system, the rumors, or was it all of them, slowly killing the spark that once made him unstoppable? Whatever the answer was, by now, the world had stopped asking. He was no longer a star, just another warning in football's long list of broken promises.
By the middle of the 2024 season, Mykhailo Mudryk wasn't a story anymore. He was a ghost. A name that once dominated headlines, now mentioned only in passing, as if everyone had quietly agreed to move on. He wasn't injured, he wasn't suspended, he was simply forgotten. Week after week, Chelsea played without him. New faces filled the lineup, new stars arrived, and with every match, his shadow faded a little more from the lights of Stamford Bridge. The same fans who once flooded his comments with love and hope had moved on too. They no longer asked, "Where's Mudryk?" They no longer believed in the comeback story, because in football, the world moves fast, and no one waits for the player who doesn't deliver. Inside the club, he was just another contract, a reminder of an era of chaos and bad decisions, the £100 million man that never became what he was supposed to be. He trained quietly. He still worked hard, early mornings, extra sessions, gym time, but no one noticed, no one cared. Sometimes he sat on the bench, eyes down, hood over his head, watching his teammates celebrate goals that were supposed to be his. And when the camera caught him, you could see it, the look of someone who didn't know where he belonged anymore. His value collapsed, from $100 million to less than $25 million to just 2 years. Agents called around Europe, Germany, Italy, even Saudi Arabia, but nobody wanted to take the risk. The same speed that once made him special now seemed useless without direction or confidence. He wasn't the same player anymore. He hesitated, he second-guessed, and when you play scared, football punishes you. Meanwhile, the world around him didn't stop. Other Ukrainian players rose, new talents appeared, and slowly, the golden boy of Ukraine was no longer the one people looked up to. He became a ghost in his own story, a symbol of how fast football can build you up and how brutally it can erase you. In interviews, he tried to stay positive. He talked about faith, belief, and God's plan. He said he was still fighting, that his time would come. But those words felt empty. They sounded more like prayers than confidence. And in truth, he wasn't just fighting to play again, he was fighting to feel like himself again. Because Mudryk's story wasn't just about bad form. It was about pressure, about timing, about a kid who was thrown into a storm that he didn't create and couldn't survive. Chelsea's system broke him, the media buried him, and the fans, the same ones who once called him the Ukrainian Mbappe, stopped caring. It's the cruelest thing in football, not when they hate you, but when they forget you exist. Now, Mudryk spends more time training alone than playing. No cameras, no crowd, just silence, trying to find that version of himself that used to play with joy, with freedom, before the weight of £100 million crushed it all. He still posts motivational quotes on social media. He still smiles for photos, but behind those pictures you can see it, the emptiness of someone who lost his dream long before the world noticed. And maybe that's the saddest part. Mudryk didn't just fail, he was failed by a system that sells dreams faster than it builds players, by a club that valued money more than meaning, and by a world that celebrates potential but abandons you when you fall short. For Mykhailo Mudryk, the rise was quick, the fall was brutal, and the silence that followed was deafening. Today, Mykhailo Mudryk is still a Chelsea player, still training at Cobham every morning, still showing up even when the cameras don't, still fighting for a second chance that may never come. But something has changed. He's not the golden boy anymore. He's not the next Hazard or the Ukrainian Mbappe. He's just Mykhailo Mudryk, a young man trying to find himself again. After everything, the headlines, the pressure, the memes, he's learned one thing: silence can hurt you, but it can also heal you. Now he barely posts, no cryptic Instagram stories, no flashy celebrations. He's focused on something simpler, becoming a footballer again. In training, his teammates say he's different: less talk, more work. He arrives early, stays late, and barely looks at his phone. It's as if he's trying to rebuild himself from zero, from the raw hunger he once had at Shakhtar. The same speed, the same fire, it's still there. But now there's a new layer to him: humility. He's not chasing attention anymore, he's chasing improvement. There are still flashes of brilliance, moments in training that remind everyone why Chelsea paid that insane amount. But now, instead of hype, there's patience. He knows better than anyone that talent means nothing if you can't survive the weight that comes with it. Away from football, he spends more time in reflection, religion, meditation, family. The same faith that carried him through his early life in Ukraine is what keeps him grounded now. He's not bitter, not angry, just quiet. And maybe that's the best version of him we've seen yet. Because behind all the noise, behind the chaos of modern football, there's still a story that hasn't ended. Scouts in Germany and Italy are still watching. Clubs know that under all the mistakes, there's still a player who can change a game in seconds. The only question is, will he get that chance again? Football loves to forgive, it loves redemption arcs, and Mudryk's story still feels unfinished. He's only 24, still young, still fast, still capable of rewriting everything. And maybe that's what makes his story so fascinating. He's not done yet, because for the first time in years, he stopped trying to be the player everyone wanted him to be, and started trying to be the player he was meant to be. No pressure, no expectations, just the quiet determination of someone who refuses to disappear. He doesn't need to prove the world wrong anymore, just himself. And maybe that's where real greatness begins. Football is full of stories like this, stories of talent, of hype, of impossible expectations, and of how quickly it can all disappear. But Mudryk's story feels different, because it isn't just about a player who failed, it's about what modern football has become. Clubs buy dreams now, not players. They see potential, not patience. And when those dreams don't explode instantly, they move on to the next name, the next headline, the next transfer. Mudryk was never given time to grow. He wasn't built for the chaos he was thrown into. And maybe that's what broke him. Not the pressure to perform, but the silence that came after he didn't. The truth is, football doesn't destroy players, it exposes them. It shows who can survive when the noise fades. And for every star who rises, there are dozens who vanish before they even get the chance to shine. But in Mudryk's case, there's still something there, something unbroken, a spark that refuses to die, even after everything. Because sometimes the greatest comeback isn't about goals, trophies, or fame, it's about rediscovering who you are when the world forgets you. Mudryk's journey isn't over. He's still fighting, still dreaming, still trying. And maybe that's the real victory, not in the spotlight, but in the silence where true strength is born. So when people ask, what happened to Mykhailo Mudryk? The answer might not be failure. It might just be a story still being written.